line for Lexington when I saw the first draft of the starting lineup was the one thing that was really interesting. You have guys like Modesto Mendez and Christian Young who have a lot of experience so far in 2024. Both of them started every single match so far for Lexington, at least in League One regular season play. And then you have the two guys on the near side, Anthony Patty and Daniel Chica, both making not only debuts in 2024, but they're both making professional League One debuts today on that near side of the Lexington back four. It should be very interesting when you have two guys who've been playing all year round versus two guys not just making debuts in the USL League One, but the way how they'll be able to integrate themselves into this lineup. Into the center circle. Gets poked all the way back by Onan. Chica. Just pokes it back again. And a turnover and back heel. Doyle finds Spangler. Spangler wants a wide angle shot. Fonseca. Starters, Fonseca, center. Rodriguez couldn't quite get there, and a second chance is a little bit wide. Doyle from range is just a little bit too far off the mark. So nice opportunities for both of these two sides early on. With Lexington, who's in the form of corners, and with Tormenta, they were able to not just get aggressive on the ball, but really pressure the other team. And when you talk to head coach Ian Cameron from South Georgia Tormenta, he said that was really the one thing that stood out in their match versus Savannah in the Open Cup, was pushing the ball into the box, being aggressive, as Spangler's aggressive as he feeds this one off. A hesitation, centering, they score! Gabriel Rodriguez, his second goal of the season, opens up the scoring 7 minutes in. We talked about aggression from the box, worked well in the Open Cup versus Savannah. That's exactly what happened here today. Jackson Corey with the feed, just absolutely able to get Mendez way out of his line. Finds Rodriguez with a beautiful deflection. His second goal in League One is the opener in only 7 minutes deep.
From number 11, Jackson Corey. That's another $100 to the Statesboro Food Bank.
We saw a relatively similar start, however, not as much to the capacity that Tormenta did today, but they were very fast on the ball as the whistle comes against Tormenta in favor of Lexington. We saw something very similar brewing in Wednesday's Open Cup match versus Savannah. Niall Watson scored in the second minute. To be exact, it was 74 seconds into that Wednesday Open Cup match that was also right here at Tormenta Stadium. And that's been one of those things that really hurt Tormenta throughout the season, was allowing those early opportunities, but now they're producing them. And it's one of those things where it's, you know, the first time you can chalk it up to luck or chance or whatever it may be, but once it starts to repeat itself, every other team in League One, watch out. High Archer out of play. Jackson Corey was credited with an assist on that initial Rodriguez goal. He led the team in assists last year with 6. He also scored an assist on Wednesday versus Savannah in the Open Cup, so he knows how to distribute as he goes eye for eye against his man, but it gets sent away. Dalmeida pushes this one along for Jackson Corey. Kilwine. Young. The turnover.
And then she just
Now Lexington continues to carry on. Tormenta wins it right back. Dalmeida. Tormenta playing with fire a little bit, but it comes all the way around for Callum Stretch.
You can move!
This back four for Tormenta is something that was also really curious to me when I saw the opening lineups for the first time. Preston Kilwine, Jake Dangler, and Nick Akoto have all played all 360 minutes of regular season play for Tormenta up to this point. Callum Stretch, only 21 minutes played in his League One debut back in the Madison game. That was on the 16th. So we're talking about 2.5 weeks ago for Callum Stretch making his first match appearance, and today he makes his first start. Akoto dashes forward, gets knocked down, but play carries on. Rodriguez, the initial goal scorer, takes the whistle out.
Nobody was pressing. He had their back. So don't follow. He's right or wrong. Is that two plays later?
These two teams all time have a series tie, 1-1-1. Last time they played was July 2nd of 2023, where Tormenta won 5-1 in Lexington. Feeds it out wide, nothing available. Played all the way back, Jake Dangler. And returns for Parker. Parker's been so phenomenal the last couple of weeks. Despite the 1-0 loss versus Knoxville, stopped 3 of 4. And the one goal that beat Parker last week against Knoxville was probably one of the most beautiful goals you'll ever see, as he has to step up on that one. And that is not a promising sign for Tormenta. Parker is hobbling, he is slow, he came out for the play. The booking for Yannick Yankum it makes perfect sense considering that Parker was out to play the ball. As you see that return feed, and it was the way that Parker was kind of in that
And the
kind of
13th
frog
minute of
stance.
play, yellow card issued to Lexington Sporting Club, number 8, Yannick Yankum.
It's kind of in that frog stance, if you will. Had that leg out. And took that one-on-one collision with Yankum. That's Yankum's first ever League One yellow card. Good news for Parker is he's on his own 2 feet, but the question is kind of moving around and continuing on from there. He's had back-to-back saves of the week in USL League One. This is for Parker. As we have to keep an eye out, as there is a possibility for Andrew Romig to potentially step onto the pitch. Parker did not play versus Savannah in the Open Cup. He did play the last 2 consecutive matches prior to that, on the road versus Richmond and on the road versus Knoxville in League One play. Romig was the starter in that clean sheet versus Savannah. But a turnover for Tormenta presents an opportunity for Lexington. And stripped away for Kilwine. Kilwine just holds and allows Tormenta to just slow things down a little bit. Kilwine, touch pass for Doyle. Lofts this one up in the air and has an opportunity for Corey before that one just gets sent all the way up into the air from Mendez. Now Kilwine is slow after some leg-to-leg contact. The weirdest part about the way that these two teams have kind of gone back and forth, especially with the guys that have gone down, is that Lexington was the only team who had anybody listed on the injury report coming into today. You had Michael Agbula, who was out due to a lower body injury, Ebenezer Akin, who was also out due to a lower body injury, and David Loera was listed as questionable with a lower body injury, but he is nowhere to be seen on the lineup. And probably, without a doubt, the most notable subtraction for Lexington is the loss of Amael Knight. Their starting netminder, leads the league in clean sheets and is second in the league in saves, out due to red card accumulation from last week's game versus Greenville. So Austin Causey, not necessarily the best start in the 2024 season with a goal allowed in the 7th minute. However, he did see some promising things in 2023 in his first season with Lexington. Started and played in 8 matches. Had 11 goals allowed in those 8 matches where he went 1-4 and 3 in net. Ball comes out of play, Tormenta throw. Corey wants to go back for Dalmeida, has to chase after that before he just chips it along for Akoto.
Protect the middle, AC! Protect the middle!
Far drive, Tormenta continues with it. Rodriguez, Spangler wants it far, but a little bit out of the reach of Pedro Fonseca. So Austin Causey will have to hold on, playing in his first match since October 14th of 2023. Back to Causey. Mendez sends it away.
What is going on? How's that not foul on the other one was? It's embarrassing. Face it again! How's that not a foul? Get organised! Off the line. We win it. We win it. Good boy. Go, Cameron.
Ball played all the way back. And Lancaster jostles with Akoto.
Come on! And again, set it up!
As our last scrap in the near sideline with Akoto and Lancaster produces a set piece opportunity for Lexington.
Get in! Ball in their hand!
Onan and Patty stand along the ball.
Pierre, closer! Pierre!
And only 2 on the wall for Tormenta.
Pierre!
Patty gets the touch on it, but it's just gonna go out of the range of the frame.
Back in!
20 minutes in a 1-0 game. Gabriel Rodriguez in the 7th minute with his 2nd of the season. Got an assist from Jackson Corey.
They gave it us, and they kicked it to us. Yeah, exactly. But when we won possession, that's when he blew the whistle. That's the bit that gets me. Blow it straight away.
Preston Kilwine.
Go! Chef.
Dangler.
Ready?
Dangles around Lancaster. And just parks it for forward.
That's on you. This one's you. Come on, keep going.
Akoto Shakes Onan out of his boots to create some space. Now Akoto, he's looking for options and just declares to come back for stretch. Header last off of Anthony Patty and a throw in for Tormenta. Ball cleared all the way to Lexington end, held on by Causey. It's been a very strange start for Lex Sporting. They started off their season with 2 games with results, a draw versus Northern Colorado and a win versus Chattanooga. But they've been 0-3 in all competitions since, including back-to-back losses in League One play to Knoxville and Greenville. They're in a stretch of 3 road games within 4. The one home game being against Greenville last week. Kilwine, back for Parker, who has to boot this one away. Connor Doyle turns it over. Lexington retrieves. Lancaster return, chip pass, a little bit out of reach for Jade Nonan. So Ford Parker takes the grasp. Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select is the player's choice. And this Select ball comes all the way out wide for Preston Kilwine. Spangler turned over. Last deflected off of Aziz Liadi. You really take a look at some of the opportunities that both teams have had, especially with who has been in charge and how they've been able to manage their respective teams. With Darren Powell, he's been a part of numerous expansions across different levels of pro soccer within the U.S. You look at his time with San Antonio, he was the first head coach after they got promoted to the USL Championship, developed Elon University, where he would eventually become a Hall of Fame coach after 9 years with the program when they just got promoted to the Division I level. And now he's the 3rd head coach in Lexington history in his first season. And he's really trying to make something of this club and really trying to show that not only is this program something to build from the ground up, but it's probably the most unique and different of all of his program builds throughout his career, saying that this one is truly from the ground up, integrating everything from the different departments, from the first team all the way to the academy, and how it really provides a new challenge since there was the previous success with San Antonio, with the ownership sharing with the Spurs, and with Lexington, it's a clean slate for not just the ownership and the team front offices, but just the market as a whole, an untapped market in Lexington, Kentucky. But they're back on defense as Tormenta looks to threaten on the near side for Nick Akoto. Akoto sprints up ahead, has the centering feed. Fonseca, he's getting clapped and goes down, and a penalty is going to come up for Tormenta. Fonseca and Chica were going at each other just inside of the 18. Chica got a grab of Fonseca, and it's going to produce a PK for Tormenta. You see right there, 20 and 10, they're just going at it. You saw the grasp on the back of the jersey from the 22-year-old Daniel Chica, which was part of the contact that drew down Fonseca. But now some discussions here as what the upcoming result will hold. And it looks like the man who was dragged down in the first place, Pedro Fonseca, will be the one to take the PK. Fonseca 1 for 1 in his League One career in the PK. Fonseca doubles the lead to 2 in the 26th minute off of the penalty. Draws the penalty, scores the penalty. 2-0 Tormenta. Just a nice, simple PK for Pedro Fonseca. Nothing crazy, just drives that one right into the bottom right. Goalie went to his left. He draws the penalty, he scores the penalty, doubles the Tormenta lead, and coming off of that 4-0 win versus Savannah, Tormenta just blowing through the remainder of the start of this first half. They were up 2-0 by half against Savannah. They got one scored against them versus Knoxville in the first half, and they look to continue that hot spring that they started off with against Savannah. And that was one of those things that we also mentioned when we got a chance to speak with Ian Cameron, was just that sometimes when the opportunities come, it's good to keep in mind that in any game, any moment is the definitive moment of the game. It can be in the first minute, it can be in the 90th. And that's exactly what happened against Knoxville, and it's essentially the same thing happening to Tormenta, but instead of it being against them, it's coming in their favor this time. So when Tormenta scores first, they've won the lone match where they've done so, but if you go all the way back to 2023 as well, when Tormenta scores first, they are 12-2-4 when they produce the first goal, and they've produced the first 2 in under a half an hour. Akoto, long drive, Rodriguez, he knows he's offside, so he's gonna let that one fall.
It's a very bad call. It's a very bad call. Good. It's here. Come on. But this goal is 2-0. It's a very bad call.
Lexington holds. Pierre Monet. Back for Mendez.
Let's go. Come on.
Throw in for Lexington goes quick, but it's disrupted along the way by South Georgia. Spangler.
Right off of here.
A quick drive, a little bit too far for the foot of Corey. Wanted to provide Rodriguez with a potential opportunity for number 2, but Mendez recollects after Causey has to make a quick stop outside of the box.
Go again.
Kilwine sent that one all the way to the parking lot. As Spangler takes down his man, whistle against Tormenta. PK goal was also Fonseca's first of the season and the 7th of his League One career for the 27-year-old from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Lexington looked to threaten as the ball juggles up in the air. Still with possession deep in the Tormenta end. A Lexington player is down on the ground, but they continue to play possession. He's back on his feet as that one's sent into the box, headed away by Doyle. Now Corey, just looking to escape Yankum.
Whatever you did there, it's looking better. Yeah, looks pretty good.
Lexington looks to continue in. Yankum into the box. Deflected it right in front. A golden opportunity for Jaden Onan, but he sends that one off target.
Play that advantage. You can play 2 extra seconds on that advantage here. Come on. What's that good?
It's not that Lexington haven't had the chances. It's just that they haven't necessarily been going their way. A beautiful, inadvertent deflection off of the block from Callum Stretch was right on the penalty spot for Jaden Onan all alone. He just sent that one overhead for last year's nominee for League One Young Player of the Year, Jaden Onan. The new era of USL continues on the CBS networks in April. Join us Tuesday, April 9th on CBS Sports Network as the Charleston Battery takes on Louisville City FC at 7 p.m. Eastern in a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Final. And we've already seen plenty of action with the new editions of the USL on CBS. We saw that absolute shootout between Louisville and Indy where Lou City beat the Indy 11 5-3 in the first game of the USL on CBS earlier this afternoon. And when you take two teams who are top contenders from last year and essentially have them run it back, you know it's going to be a fiery one. It's one of the ways that the USL has just grown so much throughout the entire season. You've seen the expansion franchises to Buffalo and the addition of the Super League on the women's game as well. It's just been one of those ways the USL continues to expand and grow. And speaking of grow, a potential threat for Tormenta inside the Lexington end. Makoto out for Spangler. Kilwine returns to Spangler as Spangler is one-on-one with Christian Young. Fonseca. And that one draws its way all the way back from end to end, but lasts off of Corey. Chica wanted to drive it through, but it inadvertently went off of the ankle of Connor Doyle. So Tormenta takes it back.
Go on, easy! Go on, easy! Deal with it. Second, Jelly. Now in the front. Come on, ref.
Patty knocked down from behind from Jackson Corey on that little 1v1 on that near sideline. As it's turned over, another opportunity. Gabriel Rodriguez wants to expand on some of the goal scoring, but could not get the return feed for Corey. That first goal was Corey to Rodriguez, and Rodriguez wanted to return the favor, but just out of range. Quick goal kick for Causey. As Chica and Mendez go back and forth. Young. Pierre Monet with the turnover. As that one circles its way all the way across the back line for Preston Kilwine. But he's getting pestered heavily. Lexington looked to create something, but just retreats to Parker, reset the play. Callum Stretch. Callum Stretch was out for the last couple of matches as he was on international due to Puerto Rico, playing a couple of matches versus Belize. He plays that one up, intercepted the other way by Monet, and now a chance out wide for Lexington. Sent into the box, but easily snagged by Ford Parker. Good to see Ford Parker still moving relatively well after he took that contact with Yankum back in the 13th minute to produce the lone yellow card of the match. as Dangler will just dump this one. Yannick Yankum. Liotti. Liotti cuts in, but gets his shot blocked. Yankum with the rebound, collects, sends it up wide. Centering feed was blocked away, so it's going to be another throw-in for Lex Sporting. Yankum slips and a turnover. Ajmer Spangler as Rodriguez. Potential give and go fast break as referee whistles that one against Lexington. Akoto, the touch up, and Akoto takes a kick right to the midsection as the ball comes out of play. Chica wanted to just flick that one up and out, but caught Akoto right in the midsection. Another whistle for the set piece along the near sideline with about 8 minutes left to the half. Spangler unable to keep it out. Dalmeida goes for goal, but that one gets sent all the way to, no one gets sent all the way into that backfield. Got to run so far for that, you might as well be in Atlanta at that point. Causey dumps it off. Chica. Chica has to be careful. Has not necessarily played the sharpest so far for a young career. Only 2 years pro in his first season in League One. Actually made Lexington through the trial process after spending 2023 with Loudoun United of the USL Championship. But Jake Dangler has to find its way all the way back to him. The most interesting thing about the way that Tormenta has played so far is it's almost like with Kilwine being a part of the wing D-man in this back four, it's almost like Tormenta's playing back three at times with Akoto stepping up. As Akoto's made a lot of runs upfield and Kilwine very much staying back with Dangler and Stretch to help out in that midsection as the defense continues to generate some offense as Corey with the turnover and the touch up.
All right,
Just
fans,
before the ball
Tormenta
comes out of play.
corner.
So South Georgia Tormenta will have their first opportunity with a corner. Five minutes left in the half. Doyle on the ball for the corner. Doyle deflected away. A nice header up in front by a swarm of white jerseys, but it comes all the way back. Jackson Corey wanted the feed, but is available for Stretch. Stretch across. Blocked in front by Chica, but another chance here. Spangler for Corey! Goes all the way up to outer space.
Get set, come on. Dani, compacto. Good.
A near turnover for Fonseca. As Chica just has to play this one all the way up. Lexington continues to advance. Monet. Out of the reach of Young. Spangler. Spangler. He's getting pestered by a trio of white jerseys, but continues the possession. Ajmer Spangler, what footwork! Spangler still has it, banks it off. But officials list that one as out of play at the end line for a goal kick anyways. Spangler doing so much in his first pro season with the USL League One as a 23-year-old. He has started in every single match of the season so far, at least in terms of League One regular season play. Patty back to Chica. Final 3 minutes of the half. Drives this one all the way forward, intercepted by Kilwine. But unable to keep it in play as it's ruled in favor of a Lexington throw. Can't watch the max? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app. As the ball rolls right into the all the way into the Tormenta box, but unable to produce. Possession, 55% in favor of Tormenta, but Lexington drives their way forward. And a block comes out of play for the third Lexington corner of the match. 3 shots on for Lexington, only 1 have been within the confines of the woodwork. Tormenta 4 shot attempts, 2 on net. And that does not even include the PK goal. High arch, just goes by everyone. Lexington argues that it last touched off of a Tormenta defender, but Ford Parker will be the beneficiary of this one. Ball juggles back and forth in the midfield. No one able to get it clean.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 2 minutes.
As we will have 2 minutes of stoppage time added to the end of the first half. Cano dangles through. continues to possess. Flips it out wide for Yankum. Liotti has that one. Hit an obstacle before it hits the end line. Yankum. Liotti. Watched by Kilwine. Off of Kilwine for the corner. A little bit of mouthing back and forth between Liotti and Kilwine, but nonetheless, corner number 4 for LSC. Tormenta able to snuff that one out. As Lexington continues possession. Cano gets the header off, but is unable to find that one on net. Was Azad Liotti. And now he's hobbling a little bit after going up against it. 6-1 Liotti against a swarm of D-men back in the box between the 6'4 Kilwine, 6'5 Dangler, and 6'4 Stretch. We are at 2 minutes of stoppage time in the half. As forward Parker sends it away, and the first half has concluded.
And that is the end of the first half.
Tormenta leads by a pair after 2 quick goals prior to the half-an-hour mark. The 7th minute from Gabriel Rodriguez, assisted by Nick Corey, and in the 26th minute, Pedro Fonseca drew the PK, finished the PK, doubles the lead as we sit at halftime. We are in Statesboro, Georgia. Tormenta with a 2-0 lead. We have so much more from across the league and the second half coming up after this.
You still know how to fix one of these things? Fully, man. I'm building a team. Are you in? I think Blue Lightning will want to come too. You guys looking for
Real speed?
Hey, smart board, when you're done fixing that, Bullet County needs your help.
I need to try it first.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and passionate care. Others may talk about the new normal, but at Optum Health Systems, we've always provided quality, personalized care safely. If you have recently delayed your care, we want to reassure you we are prepared to care for you. Our absolute commitment to safe, high-quality, personalized care is stronger than ever. We welcome you to Optum Health System.
South Georgia Tormenta has a 2-0 lead as we return here in Tormenta Stadium in Statesboro, Georgia, where South Georgia Tormenta were able to capitalize with 2 goals in the half an hour. Forwards Madison getting things done in Central Valley, in Fresno, where both John Murphy and Devin Boyce scoring goals after this beautiful back heel from Juan Galidres to feed Boyce. Both Murphy and Boyce, and the third goal scorer of that game, Derek Detmar, Team of the Week honors. And this double yellow for the Red from Carrera Garcia was essentially the nail in the coffin that ended the shutout against Central Valley. And Angelo Kelly Rosales, #1 in League One in goal contributions, 2 goals, 2 assists. That absolute beauty of a shot was the only goal in Tormenta's last week loss to Knoxville. And it's hard to do so when you're up against arguably the best player in the entire league right now. But you carry on and move forward for Coach Cameron's side. The Charlotte Independence hosted Spokane Velocity for the first time in franchise history, and this one was a back-and-forth affair, not met without its fair share of controversy. After the first goal was scored by Joel Johnson, the equalizer taken by Javier Martin off of the assist from Pierre Reedy, but the one to seal the deal was Luis Alvarez in the 90+6 after a very argumentative potential PK call, potentially missed at the other end. But nonetheless, you played to the whistle. No whistle was given, and Alvarez was the one to capitalize. As Spokane would take one final opportunity, but Austin Pack packs it in to take Charlotte into the win column to advance Charlotte into a 1-0-1 start. And this is the match that we've been mentioning essentially all game long. Lexington SC hosting the Greenville Triumph. Lexington a 2-goal lead by the hour. And then it was just bang, bang, bang for Greenville after the 65th minute. Cam Lancaster right there. That's his first goal in League One play after scoring 2 in the Open Cup. But it turned into a snowball effect. Not even. This was an avalanche. 3 goals after the 65th for the Greenville Triumph. And not only was there that 2-1 goal that put things within striking distance, the starting netminder, Amal Knight, got a red card in the 80th minute, and that just turned things from bad to worse, allowed 2 goals, including 1 in stoppage, to get the loss for Lexington. And without Amal Knight, it's been tough sledding for Lexington once again. They're down against South Georgia Tormenta 2-0, and we've got more from all around USL coming up out.
2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why.
Yeah, sweet. I said what I said. I don't care. I paint the town red.
If you can survive this, it's going to make the whole story that much better.
The bright horses have broken free from the fields.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes. Only want the best. Maybe riding every night. I won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky. Got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Stares down, shakes. Malloy! Oh, what a debut goal! Charleston rolling it home! Serrano scores! There's the dagger! Lobo all 3 points!
Hi, I'm Michelle Smith-Lang from Kids World Learning Center here in Statesboro, Georgia. Let's take care of all of your child care here at Kids World Learning Center, from your infant all the way to your schoolers. We also have a summer camp and holiday camp for those older children, and we have a brand new bus for our field trips for the children to have fun and to learn, to explore new things all around our beautiful county. Thank you for trusting us with your prized possessions.
News and notes from around the entirety of the USL and League One. We've been talking about it. The CBS SN match on April the 9th, Louisville City versus Charleston at 7:30, a rematch of the USL Championship Eastern Conference Final. We saw that 5-3 shootout between Louisville and Indy earlier in this afternoon, and new expansion teams. Let's go Buffalo. The City of Good Neighbors gets pro soccer for the first time. There's jumping tables and pro football to watch all year round for the Queen City, as they'll be joining the USL Championship and Women's Super League in 2026. And 8 teams within the USL and League One have advanced into the 3rd round of the Open Cup on the 16th and 17th, including none other than South Georgia Tormenta, who currently hold a 2-1 lead on Lexington SC. And Lexington, unfortunately, they took that loss in their first round, but nonetheless, they're still looking to build on regardless, while Tormenta just continues to build upward and onward, as not only is it going to be for the entirety of the individual teams, but all of League One as well. We saw that quick flash on the screen where it is a quick lead for some of the other teams in League One. Greenville up on Northern Colorado by a score of 3-1. That game's in the middle of half. We saw Central Valley Fuego take another loss to the Richmond Kickers. So that one, you can make the argument it's a race to the bottom, but nonetheless, Richmond Kickers able to earn their first win of the year against Central Valley, and the Kickers finally get off the schneid. With South Georgia Tormenta, they look to continue to just beat the drum and continue to just absolutely keep things rolling as they lead 2-1 versus Lexington SC.
Are you suffering from hip or knee pain? Don't let the pain hold you back. The region's most experienced robotic joint replacement team at Optum Health System offers an individually tailored approach that is more precise and creates smaller incisions. For you, that can mean a faster recovery with less pain. Your back starts here. Call today to find out what robotic-assisted joint replacement is for you.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, will be to save Bullock County from slow internet. To do so, you must recruit an exceptional tech team. They must be fast, reliable, and absolutely fearless. Time is of the essence. Bullock's internet is dependent on your success.
I need to try it first.
At Savannah Hilton Head International, you can choose from 11 different airlines, including Southwest Airlines, Breeze Airways, and Avelo Airlines. With up to 70 daily nonstop departures and over 30 nonstop destinations, Savannah Hilton Head International gives you more choices for a travel plan that fits your needs. Savannah Hilton Head International. Visit flysav.com.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
Statesboro, Georgia is where we are in a calm 59-degree day in Statesboro as we continue on in the second half of South Georgia Tormenta and Lexington SC. But before we go through the second half, let's go through what happened in the first. A little bit of a stutter step right in front for Jackson Corey. He lets up his first assist of the year to set up Gabriel Rodriguez for his second goal of the season and in his League One career. What a beautiful move from Jackson Corey. There's a reason why he was a League One player, Young Player of the Year last year, as he showed right there. But Pedro Fonseca just driving it to the net. They just say, bring it forward and straight to the net. Draws the penalty inside of the box, buries that one, gets the penalty, gets the goal, the 2-0 lead, and that's exactly where we stand. 4 shots apiece, however, 2 have gone in favor of Tormenta, only 1 in Lexington. But the big number right here is, you might look at some of the numbers on the board and see it's in favor of Lexington. 4-1 in the corner side of things. Yes, you have that 1 yellow card. However, the one big difference is the fact that, you know, there are 2 goals at the end of the day. And in large part, not just because of the PK, but it's because of the way that Tormenta have been utilizing their possession. They're not just possessing it and holding on for dear life. They're using it, and it's the second that they get it, find the lane, drive upfield, and it's been very much just vertical runs from South Georgia Tormenta. It's just vertical, 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 and that's why they've been able to get the opportunities that they've been getting. Penalty to force the PK goal. Another one was a quick little deflection, only about 7 meters out. And those 2 goals are the difference makers here in Statesboro, where it is 2-0 in favor of Tormenta. Lexington in their huddle as they are going from left to right in half number 2. Cam Lancaster commences the second half as Lexington starts off the possession for the second half, as there are no substitutions to speak of on either side. Chica comes all the way back for Kazi. As Corey lets Liotti touch that one out. We saw this happen last week in the Central Valley Madison game, where Madison took a 3-0 lead by the half. And it was almost as if it was just meant to happen. The frustration started to boil over. You saw more yelling on the pitch. You saw more arguing within the players. Saw that red card in the halftime highlights as Yankum goes for goal, but it's just a little bit off. That was another thing we saw from Lexington in that first half, was sometimes when they had the opportunity, they did not necessarily just try to attempt a shot, or at least try to put it within the region of the net and hope for a deflection or a scramble up in front. As the whistle comes all the way down against Gabriel Rodriguez for the flag coming up on the assistant referee. It's Mendez. Touched all the way up, Lancaster. Leaves it for Onan. Young back to Onan. Along the near sideline, Onan wants to go for net, but nothing was available, so Isaac Cano has to scrap against Nikakoto. And possession goes Tormenta's way on the throw.
Left shoulder 5 yards. Top to Jaden. Get in there,
Lexington with the turnover. Drives that one into the box. Wanted Lancaster, but Tormenta read that one all the way through. Young breaks it up, finds his way to Liotti, who gets dragged down. No foul, no whistle. Dangler takes this one away. Fonseca out for Akoto. Jake Dangler. Yankum chasing, nothing was provided except for a feed all the way back for Kilwine, touched to Dangler. Pass broken up all the way for Kazi, but Kazi has come way out of his box in order to even get a chance at it, and he just lets that one fly as Kilwine flew all the way over Liotti. Now Liotti is down. Kilwine is still down as well. You see Kilwine back on his feet. And Liotti as well. We've been seeing a lot of these also wing-on-wing scraps continue game after game. We saw it last week with South Georgia Tormenta in their match versus Knoxville. It was a lot of Akoto and Stuart Ritchie, and even the week before that in Richmond, where it was Nick Akoto versus his former teammate Ryan Sierakowski. See how that continues to transpire as the outsides have really become pivotal in the game. Not just this game, but pretty much every League One and football match so far in the 2024 season. Dalmeida. All the way back from Mendez. Dalmeida with the interception. Out wide, Corey. Wants Spangler, who's racing in, gets his shot blocked up before it's sent off. Kilwine keeps it in bounds. Corey has Spangler. A little bit overrun before it gets cleared out. Pedro Fonseca scored the second goal on the PK at the 26th. Now Akoto. Akoto against Patty. Akoto sends that one in. Deflected, just hits the roof. But at last went off of a Lexington defender, and it provides South Georgia with their second corner of the match. Rodriguez knew Akoto was that close to potentially tripling their lead, but nonetheless, Connor Doyle takes the corner from the far end. Doyle, back post header, still juggle up in the air, no one can get it. Rodriguez a little too shy. Another chance for Dangler. It gets swatted up in the air.
That's another Tormenta corner kick. Keep that noise going.
Back-to-back corners for Tormenta. There's a scramble up in the box. No one knew what was going on, not even myself. But nonetheless, Tormenta wins another corner. This is their third. Connor Doyle again. Much lower drive. Kept out. Corey with the deflection, but it trickles its way right to Rodriguez. Rodriguez in. Flag is up. couple of nice threatening opportunities for Tormenta. Despite no goals, the chance was absolutely there. Double deflection, Rodriguez unable to capitalize. Dangler was up in front, but Austin Causey to come up to prevent a 3-goal lead. As we take a quick look at Ian Cameron, the 31-year-old head coach from Scotland. He started off with Tormenta 2 back in 2019. Was also assistant for South Georgia Tormenta before getting promoted in 2020. And he's done so many good things for this club. 109 matches played, won the League One championship in 2022. And that was also, at the time, it was their first playoff appearances. A 5-year gap. And he's done so much to rebuild this program into what it has been. And despite having one of the youngest rosters in League One, the second youngest roster to be exact, he's really loving the direction of this team. As Kilwine directions that one away from his own end before it just gets spat out onto the Tormenta end. And a goal kick for Parker. Out of range for the intended target. Throw in Tormenta. Just chipped all the way across. Jackson Corey racing after that. Able to keep it in. Ajmer Spangler. Spangler and Doyle play some catch before it comes all the way back for Kilwine. Jackson Corey. Spangler. 10 minutes deep into the half. Jackson Corey, can he set something up? Wants to center for Fonseca, but it was not in the reach. And just as the ball came to the center circle, a yellow card comes against Tormenta.
In the 56th minute of play, yellow card issued to Tormenta FC number 25, Jake Dangler.
It's a Dangler yellow. That will provide the first for Tormenta.
Pick it up, Jake. Pick it up, Jake. One in, one cover. Simple movement. No line.
Lexington keeps. Looks to advance. Lancaster.
Come out with it, big man. Come out with it.
Nice little spin move from Corey, but doesn't really provide much. As Lancaster gets the foot out, tripping Spangler along the way. So we take another look at Cam Lancaster, who scored his first goal in USL League One last week versus Greenville. Enough to earn him honorable mention of Team of the Week for Week 4. He said in the open, he leads League One in shot attempts, and he's really built himself a reputation, scoring the third most goals in USL Championship history with 80. Especially with that long tenure that he had, a combined 7 years with Louisville City, and tack on 2 more with Nashville SC before they got promoted to the MLS.
That's a Tormenta corner kick. Makes some
But his side is currently down 2-0, and Connor Doyle has another chance to potentially add on it with a corner. His 4th. Goes short, and Spangler could not corral. Causey. And Chica takes a tumble before it gets stripped right back. Lexington looks for a drive, but cannot hit the intended target, Lancaster. Circled around to the far side goes Nick Akoto. Onan on him. Akoto feeds it in. As Causey had to be quick on that one, as Mendez was maybe 6 inches from deflecting that one into his own net. That was the tiebreaker against Greenville. It was an inadvertent deflection into the own goal.
Drive, come on, drive, he's on your back.
Lexington continues to drive forward. Leotti couldn't find the feed. But LSC continues with the possession. Possession's been relatively even the whole match. As we're just coming in on 1 hour deep. Lexington wanted to go quick. Spangler was still adjusting, so the officials stopped things along the way. Centering feed, nothing available. Rebound comes up in front, but it's just off the mark. That's probably the first real threatening opportunity for Lexington of the second half. It will produce a corner. 5th of the match, 2nd of the 5th of the match, 1st of the half. So Tormenta has 2 in this half. Akoto with the touch. As that finally provides Lexington with their 2nd corner of the half.
Come on!
Lexington in, header out. Still in play, but not for long. As we now have some substitutions coming up. So there are 4 subs coming in, 2 per side. We'll be seeing Abel Caputo coming into the match with Pierre Manet exiting. And then Nico Brown will take over for Isaac Cano. And on the Tormenta side, you can see right there, Niall Watson, Sebastian Vivas on deck.
Entering the match, number 77, Nico Brown.
And Pedro Fonseca.
Also entering the match, number 6, Abel Caputo. For number
and Gabriel
25,
Rodriguez
Pierre Manet.
will both take
Two
a
substitutions
squat.
For Tormenta FC, number 7, Niall Watson entering the match.
So
Number
Niall
10,
Watson,
Pedro Fonseca
he has
exiting the
been
match.
so electric
Second
to start
substitution
things off.
is number 9, Seba Vivas.
His head coach,
for number
Ian
17,
Cameron, only had
Gabriel
nice
Rodriguez.
things to say about him. He said that despite being in his first year in League One, he's really embraced getting better. And how Watson has really pushed himself to not only be better, but be better within the Tormenta system. And how sometimes he's even forced the coaches to look a little inward to say, are we even using him in the right way? They were using him primarily as a striker or a center forward, but he really excelled in the wing later on in the preseason, said his head coach Ian Cameron, and he steps into the match as a substitution at around the 62nd minute mark. A little bit too far. Ford Parker hangs on. Sebastian Vivas, the 27-year-old from Argentina, also steps in his 5th career match in League One in favor of Gabriel Rodriguez, who scored the opening goal in the 7th minute. Watson in a race with Mendez. Mendez wins it. Back around Caputo. Takes the touch off of Causey, who dishes it off. Paddy. And Watson has to dive all the way out for that. Ball still loose, and Parker pounces on it. We saw Ford Parker take some aggressive contact earlier. He did so again to make the play again. That first chance back in the 13th minute, it drew a yellow card. And this time, this one, it was just Parker charging all the way ahead. Lexington players on the end line arguing that it was straight for the feet. And after all the commotion,
in the 66th minute of play,
Jaden Onan gets docked with a yellow card.
Jaden Onan.
Go again. Yes, we got them. You got them. Don't let them out.
Akoto wants the distribution for Vivas, but just sends it back for Causey. Akoto with it again. The header off of Chica provides Spangler with an opportunity deep. Akoto just jumps in front of it.
Keep going. Come on, Jay. Yes, Shelly. Keep him up. Oh, come on.
As Dalmeida will roll this one all the way back for Ford Parker.
Protect the middle, Nico. Protect the middle.
Jackson Corey in the 67th. Corey wants to go for goal. Causey fumbles, but recovers.
Nico! Protect the middle first!
So it took just a little over an hour for Ian Cameron to say that his 2 goal scorers, they've done plenty for tonight. And let's bring in some fresh legs on the pitch. Kilwine in a battle with Liotti. And a booking will be given.
In the 68th minute of play, yellow card issued to Tormenta FC number 23.
Preston Kilwine will get docked. Be put into the book. .67 minutes, only the 3rd yellow card of the match. Lexington initially asked for a penalty, but they'll take the free kick just outside of the box. And Lexington has had threatening opportunities on the corners, but this is a set piece just outside the box, so who knows how this one can go. Low drive, and the touch up for Modesto Mendez was unsuccessful. Watch the USL Championship on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to the USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Ball finds its way into the stands. As Nico Brown gets another deflection to win an opportunity for Lexington. Second team all League One last year with 8 goals for Lexington. Has yet to produce any in his first 4 matches. However, 77 is on the pitch after a sub in, but a whistle comes against Tormenta. As the Lexington player on that far sideline is still down. It's Anthony Patty, 21 years old, making his League One debut. Did play professionally last year with Albion San Diego of Nisa, product of Mercer before he transferred to University of Texas of Rio Grande Valley. Patty back on his feet. Wants a long pass for Brown, but Akoto boxing him out for the goal kick. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Incomplete pass for Jackson Corey. Corey with the pass breakup. And the reception. Breakup on the middle for Onan. As Yankum gets drilled, and Doyle will be sent
in the second
a yellow his way.
Of play, yellow card awarded to number 30, Connor Doyle.
First yellow card of the year for Connor Doyle as he just takes Yankum off of his feet from the side. We were wondering if this could potentially end up the way that Central Valley versus Madison did last week. A 3-0 game by the half, and it just escalated with yellow card after yellow card for Central Valley, who were down in that match, and just continued to pile it on, eventually getting a second yellow converted to a red. But Lexington has stayed relatively clean in the second half. But Tormenta's actually provided a trio of yellows, while Lexington's only provided 1 in the second half.
Go again.
Watson in a battle. Lexington wins the whistle. Ford Parker. drills it all the way up, but drop down to stretch. Spangler with running room. Goes for the crosser. Corey wants to feed, deflected. Rebound is over the net. Sebastian Vivas was all alone, but could not convert.
In the 74th minute of play, we have
And the substitutions find their way for Tormenta. They've got 2. They'll add on 2. Joshua Ramos will make his way on for Jackson Corey, who got the assist on the opening goal for Gabriel Rodriguez. Joshua Ramos steps in, and Daniel Steedman, 24-year-old from Scotland, will come in for Tavio Dalmeida. So the big thing isn't necessarily the fact that they had substitutions, but for Ian Cameron, the big thing is who got brought on. With Steven being more of a defensive midfielder, and Ramos, who, no matter where you look on Tormenta's side, is primarily listed as defenseman. So primarily shifting things up maybe. Feed gets into the box, disrupted along the way. Yankum. Tormenta wants a foul, but looks like from here he just tripped on the ball. As a whistle comes against Lexington in favor of Tormenta, as 2 more subs comes for
Lexington Sporting Club.
LSC.
First substitution, entering the match, number 2,
Tate Robinson.
Exiting the match, number 15, Anthony Patty. Second substitution.
Will make a substitution out for Anthony Patty, so his debut gets cut short after 75 minutes. And then Khalid Balagoon takes out Azad Liadi. Tate Robinson led the team in assists a season ago for Lexington. And Khalid Balagoon, 25-year-old from, spent last season with the Maryland Bobcats of Nisa. In his 2nd season with Lexington, who possess currently. Robinson spins away from a tackler. Still looking to find a place to escape before it comes all the way back for Chica. Tormenta back with it again inside of the Lexington half, with a quarter hour to go plus stoppage. Christian Young. Finds that one come right back to his feet. As he goes cross to cross. Robinson chips it up. Comes near side, Balagoon. Back for Robinson. Robinson wants to force that one in before it gets disrupted along the way. Another chance goes, but it's blocked up in front. That's Dangler. Lexington wanted one more opportunity. It's popped all the way up in the air. Vivas and Chica go after it. And Vivas will earn himself the whistle. Ball all the way back, Austin Causey. Mendez. Chased by Watson. And an inadvertent bounce finds its way to Ramos. Ramos charging in. Splits out. Too far for Watson. The new era of USL continues on CBS networks in April. Join us Tuesday, April 9th on CBS Sports Network as Charleston Battery takes on Louisville City FC at 7 p.m. Eastern in a rematch of last year's USL Championship Eastern Conference Final. At 7 p.m. on the 9th on CBS SN. Niall Watson tied for the league lead in goals. Just hesitates. Watson taken out from behind, wins the whistle. Watson leads his whole team in terms of goals as he scored a third one as well in the Open Cup versus Savannah on Wednesday. Steedman directing traffic, sends it up in front as that one gets blocked away by Lexington, but provides Tormenta with their 5th corner of the match.
All right, that's a Tormenta corner kick. Stop your feet.
Connor Doyle, very busy man today. With the 5th corner for Tormenta. 10 minutes to go in the regulation time. Doyle headed up in front, rebound, scores! Roofed by Sebastian Vivas for his first goal in League One. A beautiful corner kick for South Georgia Tormenta. We saw so many corners. 7 for Lexington, nothing produced. 5 for South Georgia, and they finally break through. Doyle with a beautiful drive, a nice initial touch by Dangler, but right on the foot of Sebastian Vivas. All he has to do is just poke that one in, gets his first goal in League One play. That's 2 goals in 2 consecutive matches for Vivas, if you include his 1 goal from the Open Cup on Wednesday. And now Mason Turnbridge will enter the game. Ajmir Spangler will come out, so a couple of 23-year-olds will swap. Mason Turnbridge in, Ajmir Spangler comes out. That's the final sub for Ian Cameron. As Vivas wants to go again before it gets stopped along the way by Modesto Menendez. Comes right back to Vivas as Turnbridge just boxes out his man. Doyle. Stretch. Steedman returns for Stretch. Vivas, Sebastian Vivas. 2 goals in 2 consecutive matches, scored against Savannah in the Open Cup. His first League One goal in the 81st puts Tormenta in a 3-0 lead as Ramos looks to step in. Steedman just off balance as Steedman also takes down Onan. And also a booking for
In the 84th
Daniel
minute of play,
Steedman.
yellow card issued to Tormenta FC number 3, Joshua Ramos.
Correction on that yellow card, they actually gave that one to number 3, Joshua Ramos. So that's his first League One yellow. You look at some of the young talent on this roster for both sides, especially for South Georgia, and the way they've been able to capitalize on their opportunities has just been insurmountable. A large part of Tormenta's success and why most likely when they hang on to this 3-goal lead with 5 minutes to go as the aggressive play for Ramos on Young against the near sideline. It's come in droves essentially. Tormenta coming into the match had the second most goals scored while also having the second most goals allowed. They were one of only 6 teams without a clean sheet. I'm sure the next time head coach Ian Cameron sees me, he better hopes that I didn't jinx that one for Ford Parker. Here comes Christian Young. And a nice sliding tackle to disrupt the play from Preston Kilwine. It's also been so hard, if you can imagine, for Lexington to bury through, especially with the 7 corner kicks that they've had presented to them. When you have a back line of Akoto, Stretch, Dangler, and Kilwine, as that one gets sent all the way in, but goes overhead, Watson says goodbye. That ball is already on its way to the tunnel. Yankum from deep as Ford Parker holds on. Watson up, one at Turnbridge. Could not get it there. Lexington and Tormenta still scrapping along. Couple of 8s going at it, Yankum and Steedman. Slid out, Tate Robinson. Robinson into the box. Easy grab for Parker.
Come on, compete! Jaden angles! And again, drive Derek! Come on! Want the ball again, Derek!
Lexington looks to charge ahead as they win the corner off of the drive-in from Nico Brown. 8 corners for Lexington. We saw Tormenta convert on their last as Robinson will become the new corner taker for LSC. Robinson had it up, out for Akoto, but not completely as Turnbridge goes. Vivas gets taken down, and foul against Lexington. Sebastian Vivasin stepping in the 62nd minute has just been a powerhouse of a player. Racing to balls, getting scrappy with some of the Lexington D. And just forcing some of those tough plays like the one that we just saw right there to draw the foul. Boxing guys out. As we cross the final minute of the original 90. Wanted to slide up for Ramos, but unable to complete the pass. Robinson. Owen and Caputo have to keep going around. Tormenta continuing to press hard as Ramos steps in to break this one up, and Turnbridge steps in. Turnbridge comes to the far side. Watson stumbles on the way, even though he had nothing but green grass ahead of him. Now Watson stay up on his feet. You're potentially looking at number 3 in League One play and pole position for the Golden Boot. But nonetheless, comes out of play, gets stopped towards center pitch as we have an additional 3 minutes of stoppage in a 3-0 match. Modesto Mendez wants to play that one up, but it comes right back to him. Too far for Onan. Ramos is clear. Deflected by Ronan. Balagoon advances out of play, and we have a 5th and final sub for Lexington.
Substitution for Lexington Sporting Club.
Kalen Fox, 28-year-old from Louisville, Kentucky, so he's been right at home this entire League One tenure. Comes in for Daniel Chica, whose debut ends in the 90+1. Scramble in front of the box, no one able to get it. Vivas kills the play. Chipped along again. Dangler heads it out. Lexington still inside of the Tormenta end. Balagoon gets blocked, and Tormenta says goodbye to that. Makoto all the way up, blocked in front. Tormenta's next match will be in the Open Cup on the 17th. That will be in Miami at FIU against Miami FC before they complete their 4-game April homestand in League One play versus Greenville against Charlotte on the 21st and 27th. Lexington will end this stretch of 3 road games in 4 with a 3-game homestand on the 14th. So a week from today, hosting Spokane, Madison, and Central Valley, as that is what these two teams will be looking forward to. The next match as Tormenta takes this one 3-0. Tormenta advances to 2-2-1. A clean sheet for Ford Parker, his first since May of 2022, when he was with the USL Championship with New Mexico United. As we talk about Ford Parker, he delivers us our save of the match. As this scramble up in front of the box had to go one-on-one versus Azad Liadi. As the save of the match brought to you by Vision Source, Ford Parker laying it all out to get that clean sheet. Leads the league in saves. First clean sheet, and that was a 0-0 draw versus Sacramento when he was with New Mexico, and he adds on another clean sheet, his first of 2024. Full-time highlights, full-time stats. 3-0 Tormenta storms their way in for their first home win of the season.
Tormenta FC app to vote for your player of the match.
Hi, I'm Michelle Smith-Lang from Kids World Learning Center here in Statesboro, Georgia. Let's take care of all of your child care here at Kids World Learning Center, from your infant all the way to your schoolers. We also have a summer camp and holiday camp for those older children, and we have a brand new bus for our field trips for the children to have fun and to learn, to explore new things all around our beautiful county. Thank you for trusting us with your prized possessions.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and passionate care. Others may talk about the new normal, but at Optum Health Systems, we've always provided quality, personalized care safely. If you have recently delayed your care, we want to reassure you we are prepared to care for you. Our absolute commitment to safe, high-quality, personalized care is stronger than ever. We welcome you to Optum Health System.
I need to try it first.
We return here to Statesboro, Georgia, where South Georgia Tormenta get their first win at home in 2024. And not even just their first home win, that's their first clean sheet of the season as well. Let's take a look at how this one came to be, with Tormenta really accelerating and pressing on the gas right out of the gate. Jackson Corey shook his man out to feed Gabriel Rodriguez, who was all alone up in front. That was Mendez who failed to get the block. Just had all the time and space in the world, and Rodriguez, and that's his second goal of his League One career. And Fonseca, he's really been battling all game, and he continues to show why he can, draws the penalty, takes the penalty, and just right into the back of the net. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Pedro Fonseca with his first in 2024. Has this opportunity here, a scramble up in front of the box. No one's quite able to get to that before Jake Dangler gets the header on. But Austin Causey was able to be quick on the play. It was one of Causey's, it was the only save for Causey on the night, as Vivas, Viva Vivas, he is living life in full oxygen as he scores 2 goals in 2 consecutive games played. And despite the possession numbers going in favor of Lexington SC, what really shows, at least to me, the trajectory of how this match played out, it's really the shots and shots on target percentage. 2 of the 8 Lexington shot attempts were within the frame. With Tormenta, it's 5 of 10. It's a really staggering number when you get the opportunities. And when we got the opportunity to talk about the opportunities from Ian Cameron, he just said that sometimes you have those games where that one moment in each game, no matter when it is, can be the difference maker. That came in literally the 7th minute, and Tormenta just continued to roll on from there as they continued on towards a 3-0 victory for their first clean sheet, their first win at home, 2-2-1 on the season. Well, that will be it for all of us and our entire ESPN Plus crew. My name is Ryan Lee. South Georgia beats Lexington 3-0. Thank you for joining us, and have a great rest of your night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.